So today is July 5th, already July 5th. There's three of us here right now, Shannon and Jennifer and myself. And I'm sharing a post by Steve Nobel, who's become a teacher for me over the last couple of years. And many of you have listened to his transmissions and meditations and higher light decrees and all of that. So this is what he posted about CERN, C-E-R-N. I don't know what that acronym is for, but it's CERN Switzerland. It is a large Hadron Collider. It's being fired up today. Inside the accelerator, two high energy particle beams travel at close to the speed of light before they're made to collide. Lots of conspiracy type info out there, but I do feel this is a potential threat that unseen friends and stellar races are working to neutralize. It must be remembered that Atlantis was completely destroyed by a dark combination of science and black magic. The scientists working on this may feel it's benefiting humankind. However, I feel otherwise. I spent part of yesterday calling for many energetic spanners to be thrown into the works. Prayers to neutralize these are most welcome. So I'm feeling like this might be what there is for us to do today, is to neutralize this energy. Call to Galactic Forces to intervene and stop this opening any dark portals or dark timelines. This message is not intended to promote fear. It is intended to promote awareness. Turning a blind eye to what dark forces are up to may lead to a more pleasant life, but many starseeds are here, boots on the ground, to neutralize darkness as well as amplify love. For some starseeds, heading to some idyllic location and forgetting the trials the world is going through now may be very nice. I spent many years on my personal awakening and not focused at all on global issues. We are in a critical period. If you feel a calling to assist the world, then join in this call. I assure you that dark forces are very active right now. The past few years should have shown you what dark forces are capable of. The world needs more aware starseeds to help the planet wake up. So that was Steve's post. And so that's where I'm coming into the call today is you know, that we've done a lot of work like this, a lot of sacred service like this. We redefined work, Shannon, the last couple of calls. I'm not sure if you were on the call, but we were like, let's find another word for that.
Oh yes, I remember.
So yeah, that's just kind of what's in the space, is like I feel like I've come back on this super spiritual high, and acclimating back to 3D and the matrix has been challenging at best. I've started to bring my tuning forks to work, and I'm using them during the day while I'm there. Like I'm using them on, and I'm wearing my Andara, like, and I'm, you know, I'm totally woo woo about it, you know, when I'm out in the world right now. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about it. That's all I have to say. So I'm open to whatever you think we should do today, or any conversation that there is to have, or anything that you want to share about your travels, Shannon. Like,
Yes, thank you. So, you know, there has been a lot going on, and I agree with you that the forces are there, and they definitely are active. I mean, we were perceiving that this morning. Everything was trying to keep this call from happening. And craziness is that I was in Vegas this weekend, and I was talking about kind of this kind of stuff about what's going on in the bigger pictures and all that kind of stuff. And I'm sitting right next to the person I'm talking to, and my phone starts ringing. And no, but it doesn't come up as a number. There's no number. And then I looked at his phone, and his phone is calling me, but he hadn't touched it.
Oh, weird.
And then I'm like, why are you calling me? He's like, dude, I haven't even touched my phone. Like, I'm sitting here having a conversation. So then I go to hang up the call, and it rings again. like right away. Like as soon as I hung it up, it rings again on my phone, but not from his phone this time. There
Mhm.
was no number. And when I didn't even answer this time, I'm like, screw it, and so usually it will say you have a missed call. There was nothing.
Mm.
There was nothing. There was not a missed call. There was not even any record. And even on his phone, there was never a record of him calling me.
Weird.
So then we turn it off, right? We're like, okay, we shut it off and we don't, worry about it anymore. Then he goes to try and connect to my, he was connected to the Bluetooth on my car, and it said call in progress. And this was like 15 minutes later. And I'm like, call in progress. So he's like, oh my God, this is creepy. He's like, I'm shutting off my phone. Right.
Yeah.
So he shuts off his phone and I'm thinking that's going to change it. No, it still said call in progress. So I turned off my phone. Still said call in progress on my car. And so he's like, shut off your car. Like, but I'm in the middle of the strip, right? He's like, shut your car off now.
Yeah.
So I did. The light turned red and I put it in park and I shut the car off. And then I turned it back on and then everything shifted. But I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, this is the craziest thing.
Yeah.
And last time I was going to mention this, about 3 weeks ago when we were on the call and we were doing something really important about AI, and this is what I got to hit on. This is actually why I'm bringing it all the way around, is when we were doing that call on AI and we were doing the clearing, Spam Likely Lady called me probably 15 times right then. She would ring, 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 ring. I wouldn't answer and it would do it again. Ring, 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 about 15 times. So what I'm getting a hit on is not a hit. I changed that word. What I'm getting the energy of maybe where we need to go is a repeat, but it needs to happen, is Steve Noble's AI clearing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I'm bringing it all the way around, because it feels very strongly that there's something trying to impede us through AI.
Are you talking about Steve Noble's clearing or the Dr. Virtual 7 frequency, AI frequency?
It was that one where I believe it was Steve Noble, where he went through each and every aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
And he cleared it. Now, if we don't want to do that on this call, I really think that maybe we should repost it or something, because there's something I'm even hearing, no, do it on the call.
Okay.
So there's something very strong about that right this moment.
Okay.
So I'd love to hear your take on it.
I'm looking to see Steve Noble AI. Okay.
Remember the one we did? You actually put it on one time. It was all the dark force clearing, but it had AI in it.
Right. So yeah, I think that's the one that I've been doing after work, where it was like closing any portals. So what's come, the top two that came up when I entered Steve Noble and AI is angelic and star race support transmission, neutralizing dark alien AI. This was from Lionsgate last year. And then super quick negative alien AI reversal meditation, neutralizing archon structures and circuitry. That one's feeling like that would be good to do.
That was the one that was feeling good to be. You know what we could do is the other one that you were talking about on actual Lionsgate, A8.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe save that one. But yes, you're right. The second one feels exact. Jen, what are you feeling?
Well, I am feeling like a deep sense of I've been feeling this way for a few days. It's like a deep rooted feeling of like ambiguity, uncertainty. I don't feel good. I don't feel bad. I just feel like something's going to happen and I need to be prepared for it. And I wasn't even aware of this CERN thing until a couple of days ago, my friend Ashley brought it up, and I was like, I'm gonna have to look into that. I don't know anything about it. And but she was very scared for it and everything, because I guess what she was reading was all negative. And so that had me a bit worried. And I feel like maybe my underlining concern or ambiguous feeling is something like from that. Maybe like I'm getting a hit on this. It's going to not maybe go as smooth as they thought it would, or they're going to open up something that they're not really sure what they're opening up.
Right.
They won't be able to close it. Something is going to go wrong. I have a feeling, but they're going to lie about everything, of course.
Yeah.
So we will never really know. And I just feel like we do have to do something very clear and precise in order to counteract what may happen. We need to try and throw all the good we have towards the bad, because I just feel like this is something that's like unprecedented. Like it's going to shake the world up and over a few times, and it didn't even need to happen, but for some reason they're doing it,
Right. Well,
just a little, I don't want to say scared, but it's just this feeling of unnervedness,
Well, it makes sense. Thank you for sharing that, because it makes sense what you just said of like, you look at the progression of things of how Eric calls it Team Dark. How Team Dark has been attempting to control and manipulate through the pandemic.
Yes.
And and like racial
yes
issues, and I totally feel like this whole situation in Ukraine is fabricated. Like I don't think it's
I do too.
I don't believe it.
I don't either.
And so that creates like this whole gas shortage, so that people are paying more, and they're also stuck at home. They can't afford to
we're also losing our money. What we have in savings is now dwindling, which makes us more dependent on government agencies and less independent and sovereign.
So so I think this whole CERN thing is just part of their bigger plan. So
what do you feel like they're trying to do with it? Like, why are they doing it? What do you feel?
So what I'm getting right now is that that's part of the energy of, remember when we were working in the grid and there was something in between Earth and the grid? That feels connected to this. I don't know why, but that's what I'm just getting, is like that feels connected. Like there's like it's they're losing. They've been losing and they're losing. And so this is another like, okay, well then we're gonna like invite other energy in or something,
Yeah, when you were talking about that, AI just kept popping up. Like that's probably what was in between the grid and the Earth, was AI interference. Shannon, what do you feel?
Well, I agree. I actually think that's why it's necessary for us to do the AI, because I really do feel like there's I agree that they're losing, and it's almost like they were losing a grip, so they're tightening the reins, right? They're trying harder, bigger, better, more spectacular. Let's just do the finale or whatever. And I do know that they're using other tactics. Now, one of the other things that has come up, and this definitely has to do with AI too, is that which shall not be named, because we're not going to give it any energy. but I've been getting in the past couple of days the metal receptors in that. And those metal receptors are actually being affected now. They're starting to receive. So remember we had seen the flaps, right? And I think part of the reason that we were to see the flaps is that we needed to put our attention on the receptors. We needed to see the bigger picture of the receptors. So besides the flaps that were receiving energy and receiving guidance, we now have something internal that is doing the same thing. So we need to, not just us, but the energy workers. And when you were saying that Steve Nobel was saying something about there are actual beings and energy workers or people that are actually working on this, we're included in that.
Yes,
and we're being asked to shift this. And the only way to do that is we need to take the clues that we're being given and focus on that. And so, I mean, I spent right before this call, I spent an hour talking to a young girl who was going to go ahead and go through with Thou Shall Not Be Named, just because she wanted to go travel to Canada.
Right.
And then when I looked at the bigger picture, it had nothing to do with that travel and her whim. It had to do with the bigger picture of this energy that wanted a host. And the only way that could actually have the host or have the power is to use the metal energy to conduct, to be able to get in. And I thought that it was ended there, right? And I'm like, okay, well, it ended there. That's a big plan. And, I mean, thank God she changed her mind and everything. However, had she had done that, and now we need to think about this too as a bigger picture. She asked me, she goes, what about my kids? And I went, oh my God. And I saw the bigger picture, went boom, 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 boom. Like everything just opened up. Now, if she were to have kids, that metal receptor would go into the kids, creating more hosts. More hosts.
We have to take what hosts don't like things when they're like balanced and alkaline.
Well, the host is the body so that energies can come in.
Well, we got to do something where we can stop the energies from attaching to the host.
Yeah. So how, or even just bigger, better, more spectacular in its sense is that how do we stop not stop, I don't like that energy. How do we use these receptors to redirect or to actually draw in love, light, protection to fill it so that they're no longer hosts? Oh my God. And you know what's even coming up even more as we're talking? Have you guys ever read the book The Host by Stephanie Myers? I think it's Stephanie Myers.
No.
Oh my God, this is like it's like coming full circle.
It's the book.
Yes. So everybody had to have in this book, everybody had to have some sort of government issued something or other. And there was a girl who didn't. And she hosted a spirit, like an energy of a spirit that would talk to her. Right. And it's feeling like that at this moment. Right. And so, I mean, if you have a chance to read The Host, it's an amazing, it actually turned into a movie. There's a movie about it too. The movie is pretty.
I thought I may have.
I'm actually going to rewatch it today. I'm going to rewatch it today because there's some clues there. Because I'm hearing strongly, pay attention to the host.
You know,
so
what's
coming
up is that V for Vendetta.
Well, I have two movies in my.
You gotta watch that. Like, I don't know why, because I haven't even seen it, but like for some reason that movie's like, you gotta watch V for Vendetta. Okay.
So Joe joined us on the call. Thank you for joining, Joe. So we're having the conversation about CERN, CERN, which is being like relaunched today. I don't know if that's the right word, launched, but and a couple of calls ago, we were represenced to this flap, which is what I'll call it. That was part of why we started having calls in the first place. A while ago, at least a year and a half ago, something like that. And so we have queued up Steve Noble's, it's 22 minutes. Super quick negative alien AI reversal meditation. So I think that's good. Neutralizing archon structures and circuitry. And then I'll share the other ones, including that that AI frequency, the AI nanobot frequency, because that to me is part of the key of when you're talking about removing the circuitry, the metal circuitry. That's going to be really effective. So we want to spread the word of that. And then also a message that I got when I was in Georgia, just at this event. But this is shamanic in nature, but also very effective, is a rattle. Like the low vibration energies, for some reason, they do not like it and they have to go. So for our own personal practices, like using a rattle, like you would use sage, like kind of over your whole body, you can use it in your home. And I think we can take on this transmission that we're about to listen to on behalf of the collective. And then continue to, let's see, so it's 40, and so we're cutting it right at like noon, that this transmission will end. And then it feels like after we're clear that we should say something that infuses some light energy into that. But I think it's going to be, I think it's a daily practice right now, like multiple times during the day, of clearing energy and then sending light energy through the physical, through our system, and then out, sending it out.
Yeah, I think we got to send everything through, down through the core of the earth and back out again. Make sure that we encompass like everything. Like, I just keep hearing, we've got to deal with the core. We got to deal with the core, you know, don't forget the core. So I wonder if there's something in there that we can pull from, maybe, to help us.
From this transmission?
Yeah, like something we can pull from the core of the earth that will help to radiate maybe, or push out our energy or something like that into the universe more. The crystals or something.
Yes. So part of what I'm getting is, so one of the things I got, and then I want to go ahead and start this AI reversal meditation. So one of the things I got, I was sharing earlier, I'm not sure if you were on the call yet, but you were on the call last week, and I was sharing about it, about the tuning forks and me having people breathe in the frequency.
Yes.
So part of what I got with my sun tuning fork is that I sun gaze. And so when I sun gaze, I'm connecting with the sun within the sun, the great central sun. And I see, you know, different colors and auras. And then when I close my eyes, I'm seeing like sacred geometry and patterns. And I got that when I'm having people breathe the frequency of the sun, they're actually breathing the frequency of the great central sun. Yeah. So the same probably could be true of when they're breathing the earth ohm Schumann's resonance frequency, that they're breathing the core, the crystalline core of the earth. Okay, good. Because all I keep hearing, I think that'll work, because all I keep hearing is like Mother Nature saying, use me, use, you know, like for our help, to help
you know, not in a bad way.
So I think that playing Schumann's resonance is probably good. I'll share a link. Just you can put it on in the background.
Okay.
And I'm getting that can help neutralize whatever it is they're sending out. You know, that resonance. So, okay, this is coming through as well. So I'm just going to say it, that very first astral tour that I took with Sandy, we ended up on Mars. And one of the things, thank you, Joe. Thanks for popping in and just adding your energy for a moment. If you can go back and listen later, it'll feel important that you actually listen to this meditation that we're about to do. And so anyway, the first tour that I took, we went to Mars, and one of the things that we were shown was that that they alter the frequency. So there's the frequency on the surface, which has Mars appear as like inhospitable, is what has Mars, the actual beings that exist on Mars, to not be visible to the human eye, to the naked eye, and also the machine eye. Like the frequency is not a match. So they can alter the frequency so that they are visible, which is what they did for us. And and we were shown that also within where they reside on this planet, which I'm not going to go into publicly here, but that's the key, is to alter the frequency to have it be incompatible, an incompatible host, an inhospitable host. And then that's part of what I've been saying all along about COVID, is like, COVID's not coming for me. I'm not a vibrational match to COVID. It will never find me. I'm not a vibrational match.
I think what you're saying, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I think what you said there was a clue on, we have to go in and make somehow get the vibrational, like humans or the host, to not be a vibrational match with the energy, or like cloak it so that the energy past it and doesn't see it or something, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe we can hide the portals and make them invisible to the evil, you know?
So what would you like to do with our time now? So would you like to do this AI reversal meditation together? Do you want to do it independently after the call? Do you want to spend the time now?
I would like to do it now. I'm feeling like we should do it now, but as long as everyone's open to it.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. And then and it feels like there's a next step to that, though. So let's just start this. So then my invitation as well is to affirm as he's doing this. You know, if you want to do energy work, you can. If you want to if you want to just say yes, or I consent, or I do not consent, or remove, or you must leave now, whatever, like if you want to add to what he's saying or repeat, you're welcome to. And I don't know if you can, if I mute myself, if you can hear let's see, let me see. Okay, so I'm gonna mute myself and play this. So if you can tell me if you can hear it. I'm gonna mute now, and then I'm gonna start it.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, great. So then I ask if you mute as well. and we'll go from there.
Welcome to this super quick and negative AI reversal meditation, neutralizing archon structures and circuitry. And open body, open mind, connecting with the breath. On the in-breath is the invitation of light into your energy field, in the cells, bones, and blood of your body. And on the out-breath, a purging and releasing of lower energies you've picked up from this 3D ascending world, back to the light, back to the horizon, allowing more light, more space in your energy field, and following that cycle of breath. The in-breath is the invitation of light from the horizon, 360 degrees around you, into every layer of your energy field. Etheric, emotional, mental, astral, and higher. And the out-breath, a purging and releasing of lower energies you've picked up, back to the universe. And following that cycle of breath, as I call to you, your team in spirit of the highest light and resonance, your higher self, the oversoul, all 5D to 12D helpers, guides, angels, archangels, stellar races, teams in spirit working with you. Come be with you now. Come be with you now. And feel the shift. And calling the archangels of the horizontal plane. In the east, Raphael, archangel of air. The symbol, a crystal wand. The energy, emerald green fire. Inviting that angel to hold the space, to hold the space. To the south is Michael, archangel of the element of fire. The symbol, a sword of flaming blue light. The energy, electric blue fire. Invite that angel to hold the space, to hold the space.
We're doing this clearing on behalf of all human being, all.
To the west is Gabriel, archangel of water. The symbol is a silver chalice. The energy, diamond white fire. Invite that fire like a waterfall of light, washing away all shadows in your field.
Yes.
In your body and energy field, washing away all shadows. To the north is Uriel, archangel of earth. The symbol, a golden pentacle. The energy, ruby red fire. Invite that fire to hold the space. Four angels, four energies, and open. Let's call to Metatron from the great central sun to bring light down into the space, into the room. Into the walls around you, the floor beneath your feet, the ceiling above your head, sealing the space. And bringing that light down through the crown chakra, through the body. Bringing it down to the heart and anchoring into the heart. Allowing all chakras from the heart upwards to align with the great central sun. And breathe. To the below space, Sandalphon, archangel of the crystalline grid of the earth, to bring up that diamond white light up to the feet. Up to the legs, grounding your body into the earth. Up through the base chakra, through to the heart. Anchoring into the heart, allow all chakras from the heart downwards to align with the crystalline grid of the earth. And breathe and open. And let's call archangels from the great central sun of Sirius into the space. Beginning to pour more light into the walls around you. Golden light into the walls, the floor, the ceiling, the whole physical structure. More and more light. Into the very atoms of the structures around you. And let's call the Arcturians. The Arcturians to begin to scan the walls with their high frequency technology. You may see this as a blue light mixing with the gold. And just notice, feeling the walls and space around you. This will reveal any archon, negative alien structures or circuitry in the physical space around you. If you notice anything, giving permission for the archangels and the Arcturians to begin to release, dissolve and remove all of these circuits.
Say I give permission
Through a portal
for
of
the
light
angels
out
to
from your
remove
space, sending it back to the light of the
all of
sun,
the circuits.
burning it and destroying it. Releasing anything in the structure around you Just allowing that scanning to perhaps go further in the building around you. Scanning and clearing the space around you. And allow the whole physical space around you, the walls, the floor, the ceiling, the doors, the windows, to be sealed with the golden light from the great central sun combined with blue Arcturian light. And also let's invite in tachyon 0-point energy into the walls, floor, ceiling. Sealing the space. And then we turn our attention to all electrical devices around you, in your reality, in your vicinity, especially computers and phones. Bringing a golden light into all of the devices, the wiring, circuitry around you.
Adding ultraviolet light from the ultraviolet angels as well to cleanse, clear, remove, release, purge.
And let's ask the Arcturians also to scan all devices, all circuitry, all computers and phones with their high frequency technology to reveal any negative alien circuitry or structures that should not be there.
Give permission for the Arcturians to scan any of my circuitry, any of my equipment, and remove anything that should not be there.
Allowing them to be revealed in this light. And as they're revealed, allow them also to be released, dissolved, removed. Sending them out through a light portal created by the archangels, back to the great central sun, dissolving and destroying. And sealing all of the devices with a golden light from the great central sun, and also Metatron's cube. Three-dimensional Metatron's cube sealing all devices. And also a blue Arcturian light sealing all devices, plus a tachyon 0-point energy. Blocking off any interference from negative alien structures and circuitry.
We ask that Metatron's cube and this golden light seal any potential negative portals that are created by this CERN, by this firing up of this CERN, that this is a filter, it is a shield that will protect and diffuse any negative AI energy that might attempt to penetrate this opening and this portal.
And as this is happening, let's bring your attention also to your body and energy fields. Bringing a gold light into the physical body, especially the nervous system. Gold light into all chakras, crown to base. And then that gold light radiating out through all layers of your energy field. And the Arcturians beginning to scan your body, especially the nervous system, and also all chakras and layers of your aura.
I give permission for the Arcturians to scan my physical vessel and my body, especially the nervous system and any chakras.
And in this light, this gold and blue light, revealing any Archon circuitry or alien AI structures in your body and auric field. As these become revealed, releasing and dissolving, removing, getting rid of these interferences through a portal created by the archangels. Purging and releasing everything in your field. And then sealing your nervous system and your energy fields with a gold light combined with a blue Arcturian light and tachyon 0-point energy. And breathing and opening the space around you clear with gold light and Arcturian blue light and tachyon 0-point energy. Also all electrical devices around you, sealed in gold and blue and tachyon. And finally your body, especially the nervous system, this gold and blue light. And this gold blue light also around layers of your energy fields, and around the outside of that a layer of tachyon 0-point energy to release anything back to the light. breathing and opening, noticing yourself lighter and clearer of all interference. Lighter and clearer. And thanking your team in spirit, archangels of the horizontal and vertical force planes, and the Arcturians, and archangels from the great central sun. This meditation is offered to you, as always, with love and blessings. Love and blessings.
That was amazing.
Yeah, that was really good.
Yeah, that was deep. So I saw a couple of things, and then I'd love to hear what you saw. So first of all, I got that Raphael and Uriel are important, as is Sandalphon. Sandalphon is our partner right now, especially in that crystalline core of the earth. And Metatron has always been a big one for me, but that the Metatron's cube. So I was getting like the Metatron's cube, because that's when I visualize. When I visualize the grid above the earth that we work in, it looks like Metatron's cube with all its like lines and circuitry, right? And I was also visualizing Metatron's cube like over my ears, over my mouth, over my nose holes, over my genitalia, like any kind of shielding any openings to my physical vessel. I saw when he was having us scan, I went already before he even said it. I scanned the household, and I got that there was some AI in our TV and stuff downstairs, and some of the stuff that Eric watches. I've been uncomfortable when he's been watching it, and now I know why. I think that's part of it. So I'm going to do a second clearing on that. And then as he was having us like calling in the great central sun and having it connect to our heart and all the chakras above our heart to the grand central sun, and then from our heart down, connecting to the crystalline core of the earth. And this happened again when I was at my this transformational event in Georgia, and we discussed this a long time ago. Like this came through probably about a year ago, almost a year ago, that the chakras are no longer separate. It's this core of energy. It's this like the cylinder of energy that goes up and down through our system. And there's something about that. I'm not quite clear what the key is, but it's like that we are this. It's like we learned chakras because that was what our human could handle at that point of like engaging with those energy centers, but they're no longer separate. Like it's like the Arcturian blue and the gold of the great central sun, and like them swirling. It's like the colors were kind of swirling, like they're all interwoven. And that's like kind of next level. So that's an energy, or a light, an energy maybe is the word for it, for us to start working with and playing with, is like, and that ties in now. What's coming to me is like that ties into the liquid crystal of like, it's everything, nothing, it's all crystals and no crystal. That it's that energy, like it can be, it's every color, and then it's also white and clear. So yeah, that's what I saw.
Nice.
And some light language came through, and some chanting, and I was doing all of that. But what would you like to share? It's 12:12, by the way. Ping ping.
Actually, I was listening and intently, and then it's like my mind just went somewhere else. I didn't fall asleep or anything. It's just like, it's almost like my entire body just went, or my entire mind just went somewhere else, and allowed for the clearing to happen.
Awesome.
Yeah, I was just visualizing a lot of light, basically the different colors of the angels, archangels, and then when doing the clearing and all, I was just, everything was gold, and then the blue. So mine was basically all just huge swaths of light in front of my face as he was talking. I was like kind of going through the journey. So I can't even say that I scanned for any AI because I didn't pick anything up, but I'm sure, I probably got some in here. I got to do that all over again. Because I kind of, like Shannon, I got a little bit sidetracked during that process, and it was probably negative energy pushing me away from it. So I've got to go back and redo that.
So I will definitely share the link. I'll post this immediately when we're done, as soon as it's converted.
And were any of you feeling or thinking of other people while you were going through this? I had a couple other people pop up in my mind, and maybe it's because they have AI attached to them or something, or maybe they should be part of the group. I don't know. I don't know if anyone else was having anyone else pop up, or was it just you?
Well, I was
beforehand.
What?
Sorry.
I didn't hear that.
Say again, Shannon.
I was just saying, I made the intention beforehand because I felt like I needed to include my family, my friends, and people close to me in my house. And then when you had mentioned at one time, Jules, about this is for the collective, this we're doing this intention, and then I pushed it out to the entire collective.
That's true. Maybe I started thinking of other people when you said that.
Yeah, because I did say at one point, I was guided to say like this, we're doing this for all human being.
Yeah.
And we're really doing it for beyond human being, but for the moment, it's for human being.
I really feel like we have to do this more.
Yeah. Like
maybe a few times a day for a while, until we really can get a handle on the AI situation. I feel like I keep getting reminded too, we have to go back and finish what we started a few weeks back.
Right, with Gina. Yes, I agree. She wasn't able to be here today, or I probably would have done that as well, but I'll make sure she can be there next Tuesday, and we'll like plan ahead of that.
And I think we all need to put on, like, I'm getting the message, like, you need to put on your big girl panties, because this isn't going to be a walk in the park. We all need to put our A game up and fight, you know,
Mhm.
on that level. And I think we all have it in us to do it. So we just have to remember that we're strong, we're capable, we're innate human beings that have everything that source gave us. So we're just as strong and powerful, if not more, than the negative.
For sure. So I agree that I think it can be in rotation. I think there's this one. There's the other one that I shared about closing any negative portals
Mm-hmm.
and lower vibrational energy. And then there's the frequencies. So the two that I listen to clear this AI energy is Steve Nobel, and then Dr. Virtual 7 has frequencies that are specifically terminate AI bots. So
Well, that's important too, because as you're speaking, I'm getting the message that they walk among us. We
Mhm.
don't, but they're everywhere already, you know?
Mhm.
So we need to be aware that, you know, you could be dealing with somebody that is AI.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay, so I will share this, send this out. I invite you to share this call. Like, it feels like this particular call, this recording is really important to share.
Yeah, I have that same message, and I will.
And I'll share it, you know, with amongst the groups that I'm in. Yeah, that's kind of all that's there for me right now. Anything else either of you would like to say to have this call be complete?
I feel complete. Thank you. That was great.
Yeah, I feel complete. I just feel like we have to open our eyes more. I keep being told, like, it's everywhere. We've got to be aware of where it is.
Mm-hmm.
And it's in places that we wouldn't think it is, in safe places that we think are safe even.
So part of what I'm getting in what you just said is like calling on the angels, particularly the Octurians, to scan, like walking with, having them walk with us, travel with us.
I think that's a brilliant idea, actually.
So that we can see what they see.
Exactly. I think we do need to tune into being able to start learning how to see what is not seeable, like what we're not taught to see, you know?
Yeah. Wow.
We have to start learning to see it.
Yeah, that my whole body vibrated when you said that. Like, that feels really important.
Like, we all have to learn Shannon's gifts, you know, because Shannon, can you see everything that we, like these attachments and these AI things?
I can see a lot of it. But a lot of the time, you know, I don't even like to give it power. I just want to assist with the shifting of it and moving of it. So when I go in, I don't really like to focus on where it's coming from or anything like that. I just like to kind of just say, okay, I recognize you. You're there. You're not welcome in my field, and begin to shift it.
So I'm learning how to do this. I'm not going to give it any real energy. I'll just notice it and then remove it or shift my vibration so that it can't enter, right?
That's my recommendation. Yeah, I mean, you don't want to start having conversations with it, at least in my opinion.
Okay, I'm just clarifying, because people that aren't used to doing this, we need to know these little things.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really important. It's really important to stay in your power. And a lot of us, when we go into the story of how it got there or what is happening to it, we become victims. Like, oh, you know, this thing did this to me. And when we get in the victim mode, you know, we can't be the energy or the leaders that we are. And we remain in an energy of they're doing something to me, instead of just taking back our power and saying, this, I'm a sovereign being and I do not consent.
Right.
Yeah, and that's a good clarification, because I never felt like I would walk through my house and talk to the AI, but if I noticed it, I would want to know the tools to get rid of it. You know, if it's in me or if it's in my phone or if it's anywhere in my house, I want to be able to notice it and then clear it, not necessarily give it any conversation.
Right. Well, that's where these frequencies come through, like the Dr. Virtual 7 frequency. Is I
Okay.
use it if I notice something, or I'm like, something's not working properly in electronics or whatever, like I'll play that frequency.
Okay.
And then also, so I'm gonna see if I can get the script for this meditation we just listened to as well, and I'll post the script for it. He often transcribes it, so that you've got some phrases from there you can pull, like, I call upon the Octurians to scan and remove, I give permission. So that's a new thing that he started to say, and I've started to use with other people, is like, I give permission for the angels to clear this for me. Because
Gotcha.
we are sovereign beings. So the same way that, like, we can say, I do not consent, we have to give consent for the angels to come in and do what they need to do. So
Now, do the evil energy have to listen to us when we say, I do not consent to have you attached to me? Do they have to go, or can they try and stay? And do they stay sometimes?
So that's a deeper question, and I would love to hear Shannon's answer to it. I feel like they have to go, and they'll try and stay, but ultimately they have to go. Like some of the QHHTs that I listen to, two in particular, when they're dealing with lower vibrational energy, Todd Deviney is one. He doesn't ask more than twice. He'll say, I'll help you get to the light,
Yeah.
or I'll remove you. And we talked about this last week, right? Where Gina said, well, I like to give this third option. It's like, you know, you go to the light, we'll remove you, or you can go back wherever you choose, but you have to leave. You can't stay here. So, and then like sometimes they'll try and fight, because they can only stay, they can only have access through the vibration of fear or scarcity.
Okay.
So they're going to, so they might try and create fear, like, I'm going to rip you up, or I'm going to tear you apart, or I'm going to, like, whatever, to create fear so that they can stay.
Got it.
So, but the ultimately.
But us being sovereign beings and knowing that we have the power to remove them, and they don't have the power to stay if we are in our strength and our power.
Yes, I believe so. Yes.
Okay. Good.
And specifically around electronics, what I say, and I'm actually getting it made into a t-shirt and probably a bumper sticker, is I don't consent to this fuckery.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you've heard me say that, but that's specifically around electronics. Like, I don't consent to this fuckery. Like, you do not have my permission to play around with this.
Yes.
But I always, the missing piece often is that the energy with which they're being removed is, can also be aggressive. And so for me, always is like, I release you with love. I do a little ho'oponopono. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. You have to go.
Gotcha.
I love you. You have to go. This love is for you. You have to go.
That makes sense. Yes.
So Shannon, anything you want to say on that?
No, I'm complete. I feel like the energy is good. I think we've given some good tips.
Yeah.
I do feel like we might be losing people because we are going a little bit longer than we normally do, and I don't want to dilute the energy.
Yes, agreed.
So yes.
Awesome.
I say let's continue next week.
Sounds good.
Sounds great. Thank you,
ladies. Bye.
Lots of love.
love. Lots of love.